video is about how to be mentally strong in the context of performance, and specifically, I'm a tennis player. I am a high performance tennis player, and I am looking to compete again in the ITF Tour, which for those of you who know tennis, it would be the entry level of what professional tennis is about. The US Open would be the top of the top, and what I am playing is the bottom of the bottom, but you gotta start somewhere. So I want to talk about how to be mentally strong. The level of mental strength that you need at the top starts at the bottom. The first point I want to talk about is the ability to have a positive attitude and a positive body language, and they're very connected, and that's why it's one point. A positive attitude is really the reflection of how you talk to yourself, because you can talk crappy to yourself or you can be good to yourself. And the way that you talk to yourself when things are not going your way or when things are going your way, it's what's gonna determine, is one of the most important factors in being mentally strong. And it is not easy. Positive attitude is practiced, and positive attitude, it's built, and it requires a connection with your body language. So what you're looking to do is stay connected with your body, the way that you present yourself, the way that you hold your racket, the way you add intention to your walk, to your breathe, to your rest, to your drinking. All of that together makes the first connection between attitude and body language. The second point I want to make is, in order to be mentally strong, you need to be mentally present. And being mentally present requires you to connect within yourself to the reality around you. And that means starting with the basics. You have your senses, and that's your sight, your smell, your taste, your hearing, and your touch. And when you are mentally present, you want to make sure that you're drawing within your senses to the moment. You want to be able to feel the ground underneath. You want to be able to smell the air or breathe through your nose. You want to see the ball or see a point of that matters, that is physical, in front of you. You want to make sure that you're not necessarily hearing everything around you, but making sure that you can focus your hearing to the present moment and what is important. And taste, I think, has more to do with hydration and your food,
because you want to maintain a positive taste in your mouth. If you've had something very salty for food or spicy when you're playing your match, if that taste, you have it in your mouth, it will be something that your mind is going to be drawn to when things are not going your way.
The brain has a great ability to get distracted and focused on many things, and it is your job to actively focus your brain into those senses that matter at the moment. So when you're looking for mental strength, you want to draw all of your senses to the present moment. It takes a lot of practice, so you don't need to see a coach for this. But if you need guidance, you can find guidance within different coaches around you, some mental coaches, some tennis coaches. But the process is done by yourself. Only you can see the ball through your eyes, and only you can feel the racket when you're hitting it, and only you can stand in your own feet. So it's a process that you gotta do yourself. Third point I wanted to mention was the point of knowing your emotions and knowing how your emotions present themselves. So you're able to not only recognize what emotion is brought by different scenarios, but also understand that it is only an emotion and you are in control of your emotions. So one example could be you are serving 30-40 and you're feeling that in past matches you've found yourself in similar scenarios, 30-40, starting to hold, and in the past you've lost. So at this specific moment you're trying not to get into that space in your head, and it's hard, but frustration might appear or doubt might appear, and all of these emotions are attached to a specific scenario in a specific situation. And if you are able to recognize that this emotion doesn't dictate what's going to happen next, then you are showing mental strength, and it's going to help you get over those scenarios where your mental strength is the most important point. Your serve is there, you've been practicing for so long, but it is your emotions that they're gonna be more determinant into your result. So getting mentally strong requires you to be in control of your emotions. You need to practice that. You can't just show up into a match and expect today is the day I control my emotions, because it doesn't work that way. You don't go into you've never practiced a slice and you're gonna go into a match and expect to make your slice 100% of the time. No, you need to practice that outside of the court, and when the match comes, you'll be able to execute that practice mentally just as well as you do that practice physically. Now, the last thing I want to talk to ties up with the first point, which is you need to be kind to yourself when things go wrong, and you need to be grateful with yourself when things go right. It is very important to maintain those distinctions together. It is very easy to be rude, and it's very easy to be evil, and it's very easy to be unkind to yourself. It's very hard, and it requires practice to treat yourself like you want, or like you treat others and you treat strangers. I hope that you don't go around the world just shitting on everything and shitting on everybody and being the rudest person on earth, because like, screw you. But I hope that you go through life expecting people to be nice to you and kind to you because you want to be kind to them. So make sure that you're having that same attitude of kindness towards yourself, especially in the tough moments. And about gratefulness is, when things are going right, it's harder to be unkind to yourself. When things are going right, when you're making the shots, you feel like you're on top, but that is also momentarily. So in tennis, everything is it just happens so quick. So make sure that when it happens, when you're doing right, instead of growing your ego for the things that you do right, thank yourself for the work that you've put in, and be grateful for the opportunity to play another point, because not everybody gets to do it, and you're one of the lucky ones who gets to play tennis and gets to love it as much as I do. I get very emotional when talking about tennis because it's what I love the most. I don't know if I hope for everybody to be in this position, because loving something so much hurts. It hurts a lot. but because it hurts, but because it's challenging, and I do it as much as I can.